I'm stretched so thin. I make the right moves, but I'm lost within. I put on my daily facade, but then I just end up getting hurt again for my shit.
Hey everyone, welcome to Verse Up. Today we're breaking down two powerful Linkin Park tracks, By Myself and Pushing Me Away. These songs are intense, emotional, and filled with real-life English you can actually use. We'll start with a quick listen to each song. Then I'll explain the key expressions so they make sense. After a short quiz to test what you've learned, I'll wrap it all up with a story that puts everything into context. So grab your headphones and let's jump in.
What do I do to ignore them behind me? Do I follow my instincts blindly? Do I hide my pride behind these mad dreams and give in to sad thoughts that are maddening?
The first word we're looking at is ignore. To ignore means to intentionally avoid acknowledging or paying attention to something or someone. For example, I'm trying to ignore his comments and stay focused on the topic. Or, just ignore the haters. They just want a reaction. In the song, Mike is trying to mentally block out the people and voices behind him, but it's not easy. Next is the word instinct. Instinct is your gut reaction, a natural or automatic way of reacting without much thought. You might hear, I just acted on instinct and grabbed the child before they fell. Or, my instinct told me to back out of the deal. He asks whether he should follow his instincts blindly, meaning to act without stopping to think. For example, I followed my instincts and ended up in trouble. It's a moment of self-doubt, wondering if trusting his gut is actually leading him the wrong way. Now we come to pride. Pride can mean dignity or self-respect, something that keeps you standing tall. For example, she swallowed her pride and apologized first. Or, take pride in your work. It reflects who you are. In the song, he's thinking about whether to hide his pride just to escape his bad dreams, like he has to lose a part of himself to avoid pain. The next expression is give in. To give in to something means to stop resisting and let something take over. You might hear, I gave in to the smell of fresh cookies even though I was dieting. Or, eventually he gave in and said sorry. Here, he's wondering whether he should give in to his dark thoughts that are maddening. Speaking of that, the word maddening means something that's extremely frustrating or mentally overwhelming. For example, the wait during rush hour is maddening, or her constant complaining is absolutely maddening. That's exactly how he describes his emotional state, like the pressure in his head is getting out of control.
Do I let it go and try to stand it? Or do I try to catch him red-handed? Do I trust someone get full by phoniness? Or do I trust nobody and live in loneliness?
The next phrase is to catch someone red-handed. This idiom means to catch someone in the act of doing something wrong. Like, my neighbor caught a man red-handed trying to break into his car. Or, I caught my kid red-handed sneaking cookies before dinner. Mike is debating whether to confront people and expose their lies, to stop just enduring things and take action.
Well, let's just say I caught him red-handed and it wasn't pretty.
Well, we caught her red-handed stealing from her mom's purse.
That brings us to the phrasal verb get fooled. To get fooled means to be tricked or deceived. For example, I got fooled by a fake email and gave away my login info. Or, he got fooled into thinking it was a real lottery win. And that ties into the next word, phoniness, which comes from the adjective phony. Phony means fake, insincere, or not genuine, someone who pretends to be something they're not. So, phoniness is the quality of being fake or dishonest. For example, you might say, I can't stand the phoniness of small talk at networking events. Or, his kindness felt like pure phoniness, like he was putting on a show. In the song, he's surrounded by people who aren't being real, and he knows it.
Because I can't hold on when I'm stretched so thin. I make the right moves, but I'm lost within. I put on my daily facade, but then I just end up getting hurt again for my shit.
Now we've got the phrasal verb hold on. To hold on means to emotionally endure or push through something hard. Like when someone says, just hold on, things will get better. Or, I tried to hold on at work, but the stress got too overwhelming. That leads into the phrase stretched so thin or stretched too thin. This means you're overwhelmed, like you've taken on more than you can handle. For example, I'm stretched too thin between meetings, deadlines, and home life. Or, she's trying to help everyone, but she's stretched thin and burning out. He's describing what it feels like to be emotionally maxed out, like he's got nothing left to give. The next word is facade. A facade is a fake appearance, a mask, something you show to hide what's really going on inside. You might say, he always wears a cheerful facade, but deep down he's struggling. Or, she kept up the facade of being confident, even though she felt anxious. In the song, he admits that every day he puts on a facade just to function, but it doesn't stop the pain. And the last phrase is end up. To end up means to finally reach a situation, usually one you didn't plan or want. For example, we took a wrong turn and ended up in the middle of nowhere. Or, I always end up dating people who aren't right for me. Despite all his effort to stay strong and pretend, he just ends up getting hurt again.
David's heart will be broken. It'll be too hard for them to recover from, and then Phoebe will end up alone again.
He tries to find his way back, the way he came, but he keeps ending up back where he started, and that's his nightmare.
Everything falls apart, even the people who never frown eventually break down. Everything has to end, you soon find you're out of time left to watch it all unwind. Everything falls apart, even the people who never frown eventually break down. The sacrifice is never knowing.
The first phrase we're looking at is fall apart. To fall apart means to break down emotionally, physically, or structurally. For example, after the divorce, he really started to fall apart emotionally. Or, the whole project fell apart due to poor communication. In the song, when he says everything falls apart, he's talking about life and relationships breaking down, when things just stop holding together, no matter how strong they seemed at first.
Are you sure this thing isn't gonna fall apart on me as soon as I hit the road?
I guess once we moved in together, everything kind of fell apart.
Next up is the word frown. To frown means to show sadness, displeasure, or concern. Basically the opposite of smiling. You might hear someone say, he didn't frown once during the whole sad movie. Or, you've been frowning a lot lately. Is everything okay? Here, it's about how even the people who never frown, the ones who always seem strong or cheerful, can eventually reach a breaking point. That leads perfectly into the next phrase, break down. To break down means to lose emotional control. For instance, she broke down crying after weeks of stress. In the song, it's emotional. Even the strongest people can't hold it in forever. Sooner or later, everyone breaks down. Then we have the verb unwind. To unwind literally means to unravel or loosen something. But metaphorically, it can also mean to fall apart over time or to relax. For example, their friendship slowly unwound after years of tension. Or, after a long week, I like to unwind by watching movies. In the song, it's used to describe a slow breakdown, like watching everything unravel bit by bit, knowing there's nothing you can do to stop it. And finally, let's talk about sacrifice. As a verb, to sacrifice means to willingly give up something important for the sake of something or someone. For example, you might say, he sacrificed his dreams to support her career. Here, sacrificed is an action. He actively gave up something meaningful. As a noun, sacrifice refers to the thing that was given up. Like in this sentence, true change requires the sacrifice of comfort. The sacrifice here is comfort itself. It's what must be left behind. In the situation we're looking at, the sacrifice is truth and connection. To keep up the illusion, someone chooses to hide in a lie. But what they give up, what's sacrificed, is even greater. The chance to ever know what was real.
Instincts blindly? Do I hide my pride behind these mad dreams and give in to sad thoughts that are maddening? Do I let it go and try to stand it? Or do I try to catch them red-handed? Do I trust someone get fooled by phoniness? Or do I trust nobody and live in loneliness? Because I can't hold on when I'm stretched so thin. I make the right moves, but I'm lost within. I put on my daily facade, but then I just end up getting hurt again for my shit. it all unwind. Everything falls apart, even the people who never frown eventually break down. The sacrifice is never knowing.
Jenna tried to ignore the tension at work, trusting her instinct to guide her, even if she was following it blindly. Her pride kept her from admitting she was overwhelmed, and she refused to give in to the maddening thoughts creeping in at night. But when she caught a coworker red-handed spreading lies, she realized she'd gotten fooled by his fake kindness, pure phoniness behind a polished facade. Now, trying to hold on while feeling stretched so thin, she wore a smile to hide the sacrifice of staying silent. But things began to fall apart. Even Jenna, who never frowned, started to break down, watching everything slowly unwind, and she just ended up hurt again. That's it for today's video. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe to Verse Up, and hit the bell so you're the first to catch our next lesson. Got a song or phrase you want us to break down? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your picks.